Something strange is happening in our world today. People everywhere, from New York to Jakarta, from Dakar to London, whisper the same thing. I feel tired, but not just physically. Something feels heavy inside me. An invisible weight, a silent fog, a kind of poison that spreads without shape, without color, without sound. Yet everyone feels it. Anxiety rises for no reason. Sleep becomes shallow. Thoughts twist into patterns we don't recognize. Hearts feel darker, souls feel weaker, and many people quietly admit that they no longer recognize the person they are becoming. Is it just stress? Or is it something deeper, something older, something humanity has fought for centuries? Across the world, there are moments, real moments, where people face this invisible heaviness. In Palestine, during a night of fear and trembling, an elderly grandmother prepares a boiling pot of herbal infusion. Children cry, adults whisper prayers, and she calmly stirs the mixture while saying, "This is what our ancestors used when the heart felt under attack. This is what brings the soul back home." People drink it, and for a moment, the atmosphere changes. The trembling eases. The breathing deepens. A fragile peace returns to the room. This story is not unique. From Morocco to Malaysia, from ancient Damascus to modern-day Istanbul, the Muslim world has preserved a hidden wisdom. Remedies of the heart, remedies of the soul. Remedies that do not act on the body alone, but on everything that surrounds it. For centuries, scholars, healers, and families passed down sacred herbal teas inspired by the teachings of the Qur'an and the traditions of the Prophet, peace be upon him. They spoke of a poison that didn't kill the body, but weakened the spirit. A poison that clouded clarity, invited negativity, and amplified fear. They called it demonic poison, not as a creature lurking in the shadows, but as a metaphor for the forces, internal and external, that pull a human being away from peace, light, and divine grounding. And to fight it, they used 5 sacred teas. 5 ancient remedies for moments of fear that shakes the spine, doubt that eats the mind, jealousy that corrupts intentions, dark intentions directed toward you, or the sickness of the heart that makes faith feel heavy. Today, these remedies are nearly forgotten, but not here, not now. Don't even blink. What you're about to hear was almost forgotten by the modern world. In this video, you'll discover the 5 sacred herbal teas used for centuries to cleanse the heart, strengthen the spirit, and shield the soul from invisible negativity. And one of them, the last one, but the whispered only among healers and spiritual guides. Stay with me, because the 5th tea was used by spiritual healers in secret gatherings. If recently you felt surrounded by strange heaviness, unexplained negativity, or a tiredness that feels deeper than the body, if you've ever felt that something heavy is following you lately, this video is for you. Before starting this video, don't forget to like this video, because it gives us a lot of strength to continue sharing beneficial content. And I invite you to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell to stay informed of our next publications on the Islamic faith. Share it with your loved ones and leave a comment to tell me what you think. Thank you and good video. Concept. What is demonic poison? When the ancient scholars of the Muslim world spoke of demonic poison, they were not describing a creature hiding in the dark, nor a supernatural force waiting to strike. They were speaking in metaphors, deep, spiritual metaphors that described something every human being eventually encounters. A heaviness in the chest, a fog in the mind, a distortion in the heart. In Islamic tradition, this poison is the accumulation of negative forces that quietly invade a person's inner world. It is the way hasad, jealousy, envy, comparison, can drain a person's energy without a single word being spoken. It is the way waswas, intrusive whispers, mental doubts, obsessive thoughts, can twist reality and make the simple feel impossible. And it is the way ghadab, anger, can burn everything inside, leaving behind emotional ashes. This poison is not physical. You cannot see it, measure it, or touch it, but you can feel it. And today, in our hyper-connected world, many people feel it more intensely than ever. Consider this real story. A young Muslim man in London, overwhelmed by stress and burnout, once said, "It feels like something is sitting on my chest. I'm alive, but not living." Doctors told him it was exhaustion, but deep down, he felt a darker heaviness, a spiritual exhaustion that modern medicine cannot always name. He returned to his family's roots, back to the remedies his grandmother used, and the simple act of drinking those ancient teas brought him a clarity he had forgotten. This is what the sages meant by demonic poison. The emotional, psychological, and spiritual toxins that accumulate when life becomes too loud, too fast, too heavy. And this is why, for centuries, people turned to sacred herbal remedies. Not to fight spirits, but to reconnect with their center, their calm, their faith. If you've ever felt a spiritual heaviness, listen carefully. Sacred herbal tea number 1. Ginger, mentioned in the Qur'an. Among all the plants known to humanity, very few are mentioned explicitly in the Qur'an, and ginger is one of them. In Surah Al-Insan, ginger appears in a description of paradise itself, served as a drink to the righteous. For scholars, this was never random. It was a sign that ginger carries both physical warmth and spiritual symbolism. In the Islamic world, ginger became known as the herb that awakens what is sleeping inside you. Its heat breaks stagnation. Its aroma clears mental fog. Its strength pushes away emotional heaviness. Just as fire purifies gold, ginger purifies the inner atmosphere of a person. Gently, yet unmistakably, spiritually, ginger represents purification of thoughts, circulation of energy, clarity when the mind is clouded, and warmth when the heart feels numb or cold. For centuries, it was a companion of students of knowledge, travelers, scholars, and worshippers. One story, often told in the circles of Medina, speaks of a young student who struggled with exhaustion during the long nights of Taraweeh in Ramadan. While others drank coffee, he brewed a simple cup of ginger tea. The heat spread through his chest, his eyes sharpened, and he said it felt as if someone had lifted a curtain from his mind. Night after night, that cup became his anchor, a reminder that sometimes the simplest remedies are the most powerful. Across generations, families in North Africa, the Middle East, and Southeast Asia would serve ginger tea when someone felt emotionally blocked, spiritually drained, or mentally scattered. They believed its warmth could drive away the coldness of negativity and bring the soul back to motion. Today, modern science praises ginger for focus, energy, and circulation. Yet these benefits were recognized centuries ago in Islamic tradition, long before labs and research papers existed. So when we speak of sacred teas, ginger stands at the forefront, not only because of its Quranic mention, but because it has been a faithful ally of clarity, strength, and spiritual grounding for ages. Sacred herbal tea number 2, olive leaves, symbol of divine light. Among all the trees mentioned in the Quran, none carries a spiritual weight as profound as the olive tree. In Surah An-Nur, Allah describes a light lit from the oil of a blessed tree, the olive. For centuries, scholars interpreted this verse as a sign that the olive tree is not only a plant of nourishment, but a symbol of divine clarity, peace, and inner illumination. While most people know the power of olive oil, few realize that its leaves have been used for generations as a sacred infusion to calm the heart and steady the soul. In the old villages of Morocco, Algeria, Palestine, Syria, and Lebanon, people would pick the leaves at dawn, when the air was pure and silent, believing that their spiritual effect was strongest in the morning. The tea, made from olive leaves, was known as a remedy for those who felt overwhelmed by life, burdened by fear, or shaken by emotional storms. It does not numb the heart. It softens it. It does not erase worry. It slows it down, allowing the mind to breathe again. One real story from Lebanon captures this beautifully. During recent years of intense crisis, when fear and uncertainty filled the streets, many families returned to ancient traditions for comfort. In the mountains near Tripoli, a mother would boil olive leaves each evening as her children sat close. Shaken by the sounds and chaos outside, she would whisper, "This tea carries barakah. Drink and let your heart return to peace." And in those fragile moments, the warm infusion became more than a drink. It became a shield, a breath of stability in a collapsing world. Across the Muslim world, olive leaf tea is used to quiet the racing heart, soothe emotional tension, bring clarity when confusion floods the mind, and restore a sense of grounding when life feels out of control. It is not magic. It is not superstition. It is a continuation of a sacred symbol, the symbol of light, purity, and divine serenity flowing into the soul. If the first tea, ginger, awakens the inner fire, then the olive leaf represents the gentle light that follows, guiding the heart back to its balance. If your heart has been restless lately, don't skip this one. Sacred herbal tea. Number 3. Honey water, healing in the Qur'an. Among all natural remedies known to ancient civilizations, honey holds a unique and sacred status in Islam. In Surah An-Nahl, Allah describes honey as a healing for humanity, a divine medicine placed on earth long before the rise of modern science. Because of this, a simple mixture of warm water and honey became one of the earliest spiritual tonics in the Muslim world. While not a tea in the traditional sense, honey water has been used for centuries to calm the heart, restore emotional balance, and soften the heaviness that life sometimes presses onto the chest. Its warmth loosens tension, its sweetness soothes the nerves, and its purity reminds the soul of the blessings it often forgets. A touching story comes from a pilgrim who visited Mecca during an exhausting and emotional Hajj season. Overwhelmed by crowds, heat, and powerful waves of spiritual intensity, he felt his body weakening and his thoughts scattering. An elderly man beside him gently handed him a cup of warm honey water and whispered, "Drink. The Prophet used this often. It keeps the heart steady." Within minutes, he felt clarity returning. Not just physical strength, but a deeper calm that allowed him to continue with renewed presence. Across generations, families used honey water in moments of emotional turbulence, fear, or sadness. Its simplicity is its beauty, a reminder that spiritual healing does not always require complexity. Sacred herbal tea. Number 4. Black seed tea, Nigella. Among the most revered natural remedies in the Islamic tradition, black seed, Habbat al-Baraka, the blessed seed, holds a place unlike any other. The Prophet Muhammad said, "Black seed is a cure for every illness except death." Few statements in prophetic tradition have carried such weight, such mystery, and such fascination across centuries. In the spiritual world, black seed symbolizes inner strength, resilience, and the protection that comes from aligning oneself with purity and intention. Its taste is sharp, its aroma powerful, and its effect unmistakable, almost as if it wakes the soul from a silent sleep. Healers believed it had the ability to push out the shadows, clearing emotional turbulence, psychological heaviness, and spiritual fatigue. Turn the seed into tea, and its power becomes gentler yet deeply grounding. A warm cup of black seed infusion was often offered to those who felt overwhelmed by thoughts, drowned in stress, or surrounded by emotional negativity. One modern story captures its essence perfectly. In a small apartment in Cairo, a mother prepared black seed tea for her teenage son during his final exam season. He was anxious, losing sleep, unable to focus. She would boil the seeds with honey and whisper, "This will calm your heart. Our ancestors trusted it before us." The boy later described the feeling as a quiet strength washing over him. The anxiety didn't disappear, but it stopped controlling him. That a simple ritual became their secret weapon, passed down silently from one generation to the next. Across the Muslim world, black seed tea is used to strengthen emotional resilience, protect against negative influences, bring clarity when thoughts spiral, and restore confidence when the heart feels weak. It is not just a physical remedy. It is a symbolic shield, a reminder that even in darkness, there are ancient tools that help the heart stand firm. This is why spiritual healers honored it. This is why families preserved it. And this is why it remains one of the most powerful teas in Islamic tradition. The ancient healers called this the blessed seed for a reason. Sacred Herbal Tea number 5, Costus Root Tea, Al-Kust al-Hindi. Among the most mysterious remedies preserved in Islamic tradition, Costus root, Al-Kust, stands apart. Its scent is earthy, ancient, almost ritualistic. Its presence alone evokes the feeling of stepping into an old sanctuary, where healers whispered prayers and sought purification of both body and soul. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ mentioned Costus in several narrations, describing its healing benefits for the body and its ability to clear harmful influences. For many traditional practitioners, Costus wasn't just medicine. It was a spiritual cleanser, believed to help break cycles of negativity, emotional heaviness, and inner confusion. It was used in purification rites, in the moments where a person felt clouded, disconnected, or overwhelmed by an invisible weight. In old villages, Costus was often boiled into a strong, fragrant tea right before moments of deep reflection or prayer. People drank it not only to heal the body, but to realign the heart. The bitterness of the root was symbolic, a reminder that sometimes, to expel what harms us, we must face the discomfort that precedes clarity. And today, despite the modern world drowning in noise, the tradition is still alive. In northern Pakistan, families still prepare Costus tea when someone begins to feel mentally foggy, emotionally drained, or unusually irritable. A mother might prepare a cup for her daughter and say, "Let this clean your mind. It worked for your grandmother and for hers before." The steam fills the room with a grounding scent, and many describe a feeling of spiritual decluttering, as if a layer of heaviness gently lifts away. Qur'an's tea is used to release negative emotional buildup, cleanse the heart from inner agitation, restore a sense of direction and spiritual alignment, and strengthen one's energy against draining influences. This is not a casual tea. It is a ritual, a companion in moments of transformation, a tool for those who seek inner clarity when the world feels too loud. This final tea was once reserved for spiritual practitioners. Now, you'll learn it too. Conclusion plus engagement plus appel à commentaire. In the end, these 5 sacred teas are more than simple drinks. They are echoes of an ancient wisdom, reminders that healing is not only physical, but also emotional and spiritual. They do not replace medical care, but they awaken something inside us, a sense of grounding, calm, and connection to the traditions that shaped generations before us. Today, many feel overwhelmed, mentally scattered, spiritually thirsty. But sometimes, healing begins with a small ritual, a warm cup, a deep breath, a return to what our ancestors knew. Whether you choose ginger for clarity, olive leaves for peace, honey for emotional balance, a black seed for strength, or costus for deep cleansing. Each of them carries a message. Your heart deserves rest. As you close this video, take a moment to reconnect with yourself. Maybe tonight, prepare one of these teas in silence and let it remind you that you are not alone. That peace is still accessible and that ancient remedies still whisper guidance to those who listen. Which of these sacred teas will you try first? Type, I want part 2, if you want more ancient remedies from Islamic tradition. Tell me in the comments, did any of these messages touch your heart today? And finally, which directive message in this video grabbed your attention the most? Should I craft even more powerful engagement formulas in the next chapter?